Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
The fictionalized depiction of the FBI, Counterspy, starring Don McLaughlin and Mandel-Kramer, from 73 years ago, September 22nd, 1949, the case of the Postal Pirates. And we thank you for tuning in. On this sure happy it's Thursday, the 22nd day of September, 256th day of the year, the last day of summer, 100 days left till we get to 2023. The last people hanged for witchcraft in the U.S. on this date in 1692. Nathan Hale hanged for spying on this date in 1776. Postmaster General Post established on this date in 1789. Happy birthday, Des Moines. It was incorporated on this date in 1851 as Fort Des Moines. President Abraham Lincoln issued the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation on this date in 1862, declaring all slaves in rebel states free as of January 1st, 1863. The first issue of National Geographic magazine published in 1888. The first American-built automobile built by the Duryea brothers, displayed in 1893. Jack Dempsey losing the long count boxing match to Gene Tunney in 1927. Soviet Union exploding the first nuclear bomb in 1949. Sarah Jane Moore tried to assassinate President Ford on this date in 1975.
It sounds like someone has fired a shot at the president just as he came out the door. We didn't hear the fire. They're screaming away. Apparently someone has fired some sort of shot at the president. We can't see from here. He is okay. We can't tell just exactly what's going on at this point.
The plot foiled by former Marine Oliver Sipple. Procter & Gamble took Rely tampons off the market on this date in 1980 after it showed use of Rely might increase the risk of toxic shock syndrome.
We are suspending the sale of Rely tampons to remove Rely and Procter & Gamble from the controversy surrounding a new disease called toxic shock syndrome. This is being done despite the fact that we know of no defect in the Rely tampon and despite evidence that the withdrawal of Rely will not eliminate the occurrence of toxic shock even if Rely's use is completely discontinued.
Now, Procter & Gamble went so far as to buy radio time to further the recall.
If you use Rely tampons, here's an important message from Procter & Gamble. Women who use Rely tampons should stop using them. Procter & Gamble asks that you return any unused product to the company for a refund. Procter & Gamble has suspended the sale of Rely tampons. We've taken this action until more is known about a newly discovered disease called toxic shock syndrome. Tampons have been associated with this disease. Tampons do not cause toxic shock syndrome, but use of tampons seems to be a contributing factor in its development. Some studies suggest that Rely tampons increase this risk more than other brands. Please look for the Rely advertisements in your daily newspapers to learn more about toxic shock syndrome and how to get a refund for any unused Rely tampons you may have in your home. In the meantime, we advise you to stop using Rely tampons.
And that was paid for by Procter & Gamble. Now, in March of 1982, Procter & Gamble found negligent by a federal jury for offering a defective product, but no damages were awarded. Dead Sea Scrolls made available to the public for the first time in 1991 by the Huntington Library. U.S. Mint unveiled the first changes to the penny in 50 years. In 2008, Abraham Lincoln's portrait still on the front, but new designs replacing the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Passing away on this date in history, the very funny Dan Rowan from Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, composer Irving Berlin, actress-singer Dorothy Lamour, actor, director, producer George C. Scott, Isaac Stern, Gordon Jump from WKRP in Cincinnati. One of the stars of Butterflies Are Free, Edward Albert. Mime and actor Marcel Marceau, singer Eddie Fisher, and Yogi Berra. This is the birth date of Erich von Stroheim, Paul Muni, the actor, also actor John Houseman, and actress Martha Scott. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Tony Basil, 79 years old today. Hot rodder John Milner in American Graffiti. Paula Matt, 77. Singer Sherry Belafonte and singer Debbie Boone, both turning actually, Sherry Belafonte turning 68. Debbie Boone is 66. Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli is 64. Fox commentator Neil Cavuto is 64. Joan Jett still loves rock and roll at 64. Chachi from Happy Days and Charles in Charge, Scott Baio, 62. From Rain Man, Bonnie Hunt is 61. From Dynasty, Catherine Oxenberg is 61. From Orphan Black, and she's She-Hulk and She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Tatiana Maslany is 37. And Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter, Tom Felton, is 35. Those are just a few of the people celebrating the 22nd day of September as their birthday. If this is your birthday,
hi, we're the four freshmen, and we just want to say, happy birthday to you.
And from 73 years ago today, September 22nd, 1949, Counterspy. That's up next on this Thursday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining Medi-Share right now. Medi-Share is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medi-Share can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And Medi-Share is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 29 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we go back 73 years, September 22nd, 1949. Don McLaughlin, Mandel-Kramer in Counterspy.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspy, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, more in the case of the Postal Pirates. Another Counterspy report to the American people. For weeks, David Harding has been on the trail of $1 million syndicate of thieves stealing packages from post offices in a number of eastern cities. Harry Peters, assistant to Mr. Harding, went undercover as a dishonest postal clerk named Harry Gordon and has made contact with one of the big shots of this racket, Frank Garrett. The two men are now driving in Garrett's car with Peters, alias Harry Gordon, at the wheel.
Okay, Harry, stay on the West Side Highway now.
Swell car. Handles nice.
Yeah, I know. I like to drive. Except in city traffic.
That why you wanted me to take the wheel?
One reason.
And the other?
You're a bright boy, Harry.
Thanks.
Yeah, the kind of a guy we'd like to have if we were taking on new guys.
You're not?
We don't like volunteers. We like to pick out our own boys and hold them to us good and tight.
I stick like glue where there's dough.
Glue melts. We prefer something more solid. Now, you might be a right guy.
Thanks.
Or a stoolie.
I can't sing a note.
Maybe even a cop.
I haven't got flat feet.
Maybe, but we never take chances. Hey, slow down, will you? You're going too fast.
I like speed.
Now, don't get cute and try to get a cop on our tail.
A lot of power in this motor.
Slow down, I'll blast your head off.
I thought you'd show a rod sooner or later.
Okay, I showed it. Now slow down.
What for? Right now, this is the safest way I can drive.
You crazy fool, look out!
Close, huh?
You don't slow down, I'll...
Shoot? Then what happens to us both? The needle's pushing 70. 75. 80.
You'll kill us both.
That's better than you killing me. Look at the needle. 85.
It's the car! Okay, you win. You win. Only slow down.
Toss the gun on the floorboard.
Okay. Now slow it.
Turn out all your pockets and open the jacket wide. I don't want you to cross me.
Yeah, sure. I ain't got another gap. Hey, a police siren a block behind. Huff, now we are in the stew.
Maybe. That's a good boy. No more guns.
Okay, bright boy, we stop, but what are you going to do about those cops coming?
You'll see, tough guy. Get out.
Hey, what is this? Only one plainclothes guy in that patrol car.
Peters, I've been tailing you ever since you got into this car. What a race you stayed.
He pulled a gun on me, Chief. The only way I could make him drop it was to speed up.
Chief? Who are you guys?
Counterspy. Sorry it turned out this way, Mr. Harding. It practically tips our hand.
Well, I'd rather have our hand tipped than you dead. But come on, we're in a hurry.
What about Garrett here?
We'll turn him over to one of the other cars. Let's get going.
There's the signal, Dave. You can go ahead.
This is David Harding, calling from New York. Attention Counterspy agents, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, and Philadelphia. Circumstances force us to move in immediately on postal theft investigation. Carry out all raids according to plan. Pick up all members of the ring you can lay your hands on. We will conduct raid on main warehouse of the gang here in New York. Act on this order immediately. Agents staked out around the warehouse, Peter?
Yes, David. We're in luck.
Oh, how?
Conway tells me that Jimmy Morrison, the crooked postal clerk I've been keeping tabs on, went into the warehouse just a while ago.
Good. Maybe a meeting of the brains of...
What was that?
Shots from inside the warehouse. Let's go. You men cover the main floor of the warehouse. Peters and I'll take the office upstairs.
Peters.
Look at that.
Holy. Jimmy Morrison and that girl.
Maybe they're still alive. No. She's not.
Jimmy Morrison's gone, too. Here's the note.
Note.
Signed by Jimmy Morrison. Listen, Kathy was no good. She was poison and poisoned me. She ran this whole package-stealing racket and tricked me into it. There's no chance of getting away. I don't want to, and I won't let her, so I'm going to help her escape the only way she can, by taking her with me. Jimmy Morrison. Looks as if this girl, Kathy, was the big shot, Dave. Murder and suicide. This winds up the case nice and neat.
Looks like it, Peters. Now, wait a minute. The boy's holding the gun.
Well, he was the suicide, according to the note.
This was no suicide, Peters. It was murder. Double murder. The killer may still be in the building.
What?
Alert the squad. Have them go through this warehouse from top to bottom, fast. And that thug who tried to take you for a ride, Frank Garrett, get him up here. I want to talk to him now.
Come on, Garrett. You can climb stairs faster than that.
Okay, copper, don't shove.
Keep moving.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Peters. I'll take care of Garrett. You take charge of the rest of the squad. Report to me on what you find.
Right there.
What's this all about, Mr. Harding?
You wouldn't know?
No.
Okay, let's go into this office. Maybe we can find the answer in there. Start moving, Garrett.
Holy smoke.
It's a pretty picture, isn't it? You know them, Garrett? Young man and the girl?
Yeah,
Yeah is a good enough answer. Maybe you'd like to read this note.
Note?
Go on, help yourself. We found it in this room. Found something else, too.
This kid killed her? Who'd have thought a punk like that?
Could kill? Maybe the person who took this photograph.
Photograph?
I found it lying right here on the desk. A photograph of Jimmy Morrison murdering a man. Take a look at it.
Yeah, no, what?
Who's the other man in the photograph?
I don't know.
Come on, Garrett, make it easy on yourself. This photo was a wonderful club to hold over young Morrison's head. That's probably how you forced him into this parcel post racket. Wasn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, Garrett. Who's the dead man in the picture?
I told you I don't know.
Don't make me
Mr.
laugh.
Harding, you read the note. Like it says, that dame Kathy was the big boss in this racket. Okay, she's dead. He killed himself. That winds it up. What more do you want?
I want the person who killed the girl and Morrison.
The note.
The note was planted to mislead us. Look at Morrison. He's holding the gun in his hand.
Well, sure, he shot himself.
If he did, there'd be powder burns around the wound in his head. But it's a clean wound. That means he was shot from a slight distance by someone else.
Look, I got nothing to do with it. You had your mitts on me when those shots were fired.
Right. But you know who that someone else was.
I don't know nothing. I ain't saying nothing. You're bright. Figure things out for yourself.
Okay, maybe I will.
No good, Dave. The boys have been through the whole warehouse. Whoever the murderer was, he got away through an abandoned sewer outlet we found in the cellar.
I expected that, Peters.
What about Frank here?
He doesn't want to talk at the moment.
Maybe we can change his mind.
Maybe. In the meantime, get our fingerprint and photographic details. Go over this office, Peters. We're not closing this case till we've caught a double murderer.
Dave, the report on that picture of Jimmy Morrison shooting a man just came in from Washington.
Any results, Peters?
Yes. The man on the floor is Nick Bodie, alias this, that, and the other. Here's the Rogues Gallery wire photo they sent.
Well, that matches this picture we found in the warehouse, all right.
And according to that picture, Bodie's dead. Unless you figure the photograph for a frame-up.
That's just what I do. There had to be a photographer. Everything all set up. The way I reconstruct it, she and Bodie framed a situation, a fight, so that Morrison could be tricked into this picture.
Yeah, but to convince her... Look at it. Morrison holding a gun. Bodie falling to the floor. Bodie might really be dead.
That's possible, but this picture was too easy for us to find, too convenient, right in the top drawer of the desk.
You think he wanted us to look for a dead body instead of a live one?
Yes. And far from being a murder victim, he's a double murderer. Send for Frank Garrett. We'll have another crack at questioning him about Nick. If he still won't talk, maybe we can use him as bait for our two-time killer.
Product Buyers Incorporated, good morning. Mr. Richardson, I'm sorry he's busy. Will you call back later, please? Can I help you, sir?
I want to see Mr. Richardson.
Who shall I say is calling?
Just Nick, Postal Sales.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Richardson will see salesmen on Tuesdays and Thursdays only.
Beautiful. You give him my name, and if he says that too, I'll go away.
Right. Just a minute. Mr. Richardson, Nick of Postal Sales to see you. Oh, yes, sir. Go right in, sir. That door.
Thanks, beautiful.
Hello, Nick. Come in.
Surprised to see me, Richie?
What are you doing here, you fool?
No. Is that any way to agree to partner, Richie?
Every time the phone rings, I've been expecting counterspies. Now you're crazy enough to walk in.
I knew you'd be worried, Richie. I wanted to ease your mind.
Or leave the counterspies to me.
No, why would I do that? Where else would I find such a good partner for selling my goods?
Selling? You're not thinking of keeping up this racket.
Why not? There's still more millions in it.
Not with me, Nick. You can find somebody else.
But not with a setup like yours. You buy merchandise for about 2,000 stores throughout the country. We spread the stolen goods that thin, there's not a chance of tracing them. Nick, you read the papers. Counterspies figured they've broken up the parcel post ring. Even tabbed Kathy Thomas for the boss. She's dead. What better setup do you want?
What about Frank Garrett? They've still got him under arrest. You think he'll talk?
Frank will keep his mouth shut as long as we do right by him.
We? He doesn't know about me, does he?
No. I don't leave you out. Because if he talks about me, I talk about you.
What'll we do, Nick? We've got to stop
now,
him.
Take it easy, Richie.
September 22nd, 1949, Counterspy. The news from 73 years ago is next.
Attention Walmart shoppers. Now you can order one of the most advanced hearing aids on the market for hundreds, not thousands of dollars. Hearing Assist's most advanced product lineup includes models that use an exclusive app for enhanced control over what you want to hear. It's perfect if you have a smartphone or iPhone to hear everything better. And we have two great ways for you to get one. You can call the number at the end of this ad and order directly. Or you can call this same number and we will text you a complete list of Walmart Vision Center locations. We make it easy for you to hear better. Remember, call this number today to order and have a text message instantly sent to your phone to find the Walmart Vision Center near you. Here's that special number.
Call 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. That's 800-360-0597.
Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of Counterspy, the case of the Postal Pirates, as it was originally broadcast on Thursday, September 22nd, 1949. In the newspapers of that Thursday, 73 years ago, these were some of the headlines. More than 2,400 CIO United Steelworkers quit work yesterday in two small plants. Officials of the two companies said they believe the walkouts are unauthorized. One spokesman said he thought the men are jittery over the whole situation in the steel industry. Union spokesman could not be reached for comment. Meanwhile, President Truman appealed yesterday for a new 6-day delay in the strike of 1 million steelworkers set for Saturday midnight. U.S. Steel, Jones & Laughlin, and Republic Steel agreed to the truce, but the union put off its decision until today. Ford and the CIO United Auto Workers reportedly only a few cents apart yesterday in the negotiations on an hourly pension welfare health package. The auto workers have called for a strike for September 29th if no agreement is reached. On the coal front, the list of workers laid off on coal hauling railroads rose to 31,300 as the strike of 480,000 mine workers went through its third day. However, John L. Lewis, head of the United Mine Workers, met with representatives of the northern and western coal operators in an effort to negotiate a new contract. Those operators represent about half the nation's soft coal production. The Chinese Communists, with more than half of China's 457 million population under their red banner, yesterday announced they had established the People's Republic of China. The long-expected announcement was made in Peiping by red leader Mao Zedong, 56, a peasant's son who 27 years ago helped to found the Chinese Communist Party. Henry M. Blackmer, the Colorado multi-millionaire who was the missing link in the infamous Teapot Dome scandal, came home from a 25-year exile in Europe yesterday, an old man of 83, ready to face charges of perjury and income tax evasion. Blackmer, who became a man without a country rather than testify at hearings into the oil fraud during the Harding administration, slipped into the country quietly under the name of Smith, along with the Norwegian opera singer he had married 20 years ago. He made his identity known immediately to immigration officials at Logan Airport and was released within several hours when it was learned he was en route to his home in Denver to enter pleas to the charges of tax evasion and perjury brought in 1928. Greed killed a goat in Brussels, Belgium. While its farmer owner was feeding it, the animal ate his wallet, containing about 900 Belgian francs, about $20.52 U.S. Farmer had the goat killed and recovered 650 francs from the animal's stomach. In Miami, Sandra Aikens, 10, received only minor bruises when she fell 3 stories to the ground. She was showing playmates how she could cling to a porch rail when she lost her grip. She had a clothesline and a bench on her way down. And as a reward for holding his throne for 25 years, the Sultan of Brunei, British Protectorate of Borneo, got a new title from King George VI, Honorary Knight Commander of the British Empire. Until the now Sultan had to struggle along, only known as the Sultan of Brunei, His Highness Ahmad Tajuddin Akazul Qadri Wadin, the commander of St. Michael's and St. George, Tioni Sultan Mohammed Jamad Alam. Those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Thursday, September 22nd, 1949, on your radio, Counterspy, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You're going to bail him out.
Oh, no. I don't want to get into the picture.
You won't. Just be ready with the dough. I know a guy who'll handle the whole thing.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy.
And the conclusion of Counterspy, September 22nd, 1949, comes up next on this Thursday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. That's 800-477-4612. Paid for by Want to Sell.
We'll wrap up this week of Classic Radio Theater on Friday with an episode of Rogers of the Gazette, starring Will Rogers Jr. from 69 years ago, September 23rd, 1953, Farm Sale Week. There's a fertilizer sale going on during Farmers' Day in Elyria, and some modern merchandising methods are in order. That's coming up on Friday's Classic Radio Theater. But now the conclusion of Counterspy, starring Don McLaughlin, Mandel-Kramer, 73 years ago, September 22nd, 1949.
In the Counterspy field office in New York, David Harding and his assistant, Harry Peters, are again questioning the prisoner, Frank Garrett.
Now, Garrett, I showed you this photograph once before.
Yeah.
It shows Morrison, gun in hand, standing beside a man's body on the floor.
Yeah, I see.
We know now that the man on the floor is or was named Nick Bodie. You know him?
No.
You know if he was head of the parcel post racket? You see who that is, Peters?
Right.
What's the answer, Garrett?
Look, Mr. Harding, for the last time, I don't know nothing about nothing. In fact, I'm the most ignorant guy you ever arrested. So why don't you call it quits and let me go back to my cell?
You won't have to, Garrett.
Huh?
What is it, Peters? A lawyer named Carver has just posted bail for Garrett.
Well, now the conversation is getting pleasant.
The guard outside will see that you get your property back. Go on, beat it.
So long, boys.
Of all the cocky little...
Forget that, Peters. His being bailed out is even better than our letting him go.
I just hate to take that from a guy like him.
Remember I thought we might use him as a decoy for Nick Bodie? This is our chance.
I'll assign an agent to tail him right away, Dave.
Well, Peters, put on the newest man we've got in the New York office.
Well, Garrett's no dope. It'll take an old hand to tail him.
It'll take even more than one. I'll get some new agent out right away. And then bring the 4 best men in here to me for special instructions. I want to make sure Garrett thinks he's free to go where he wants.
Well, Garrett, feel good to be out? Yeah, sure, Mr. Carver. You got anything else to say? They'll put a tail on you. Tell me something I don't know. Like, who gave you the money to put up my bail? Look, call Paradise 23416 between 10 and 10:30 tonight. It's a lunch counter. Don't ask for anyone. If the right man answers, your name will be the first thing he says.
That's okay, Carterman. I'm expecting a call.
Frank, Garrett?
Yeah. Hello, Nick.
You recognize the voice?
Sure. I knew you wouldn't forget me.
You do any talking?
Not even about the weather. But they got me on 2 counts, Nick. I don't want to stand still for them.
You won't have to. I'll get you some dough and you can jump bail. You're being tailed right now, I suppose.
Yeah. I got the guy spotted. A crew cut boy, strictly Joe College.
Okay. Now, here's how you lose him fast. You know the Cooley building, 32nd and Broadway? There's a side entrance with only a revolving door.
Right.
Let him tail you in there. Then double back and out the same door. When you get outside, step on the doorstop. That'll lock the door so you can get away before he circles the corner of the building.
Right. Cute trick.
When you're sure you're clear, call me at Mercury 46000. We'll pick it up from there.
Harding to Peters. You still with Garrett?
Yes, Dave. He just got out of a cab at 32nd Street and Broadway. He's going in the Cooley building. I'm about a half a block behind in my car.
Is Stevens still tailing him?
Yes, kind of overeager, though. Got a hunch Garrett spotted him.
Well, keep in touch.
Wait a minute. Garrett just came out of the Cooley building. There's some trouble at the door. Stevens is locked in.
Good.
Garrett's back in his cab.
Okay. Stay with him. Keep in touch with the other cars. Just make sure Garrett keeps on thinking he's in the clear.
Nick, you shouldn't have told Frank Garrett to call here. This is my office.
I've got my reasons, Richie. I'll get it.
Hello? Listen, Frank. Remember Barney's Tavern? Drop in there for a drink. I'll be there. No, don't talk to me in the tavern. If it looks clear, I'll get up and walk out to the parking lot around the corner. But they rent cars. I'll have one rented. And settle things while we drive. Right. Okay, Richie. You happy now?
Oh, for goodness sakes, get out of here.
Not without you, Richie. Where I sit, you're too comfortable. Too nice and clean.
What do you mean?
I'm the only guy who can tie you up in this racket. Something happens to me, you're in the clear.
Look, Nick.
Besides, there's no reason you couldn't walk out on me.
then I'm out on a limb.
I wouldn't do that, Nick.
Maybe not. But I believe in insurance. Partnership insurance. I'm going to take some out on you. Frank Garrett's help.
Nick, how long are we going to sit here? Frank's been at that corner table 2 minutes already.
Don't get anxious. I just want to make sure there's no tail on him.
No one's come in since he did.
I know. I've been watching.
There are no cars out in the street. Only that truck over there.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's okay. Let's go. Garrett will follow us.
Out of the bar.
No one with him?
No, sir. Uh-oh. He's going to the parking lot on the corner. I'll get ready to tail.
Peters, how far are you from Brady?
The next block, Mr. Harding.
Brady, give Peters the direction Garrett takes. You follow Peters. Peters, you pick up his trail.
Right, Dave. A car's coming out of the lot now. A blue Dodge sedan. It's Garrett. 2 other men with him. Going east, Peters. You can pick him up 2 blocks down.
Okay, Nick, what's the pitch? Who's this guy?
Relax, Frank. We need a chauffeur.
Don't be cute. Who is he?
I'll tell you, Frank. He's the nice man who's been selling all our stuff for us.
Nick.
Shut up. I want you to meet the hired help. Frank, this is Mr. Richardson, the president of Product Buyers Incorporated.
Why, Nick, you've never been so generous with information before.
I want this to be one big happy family. Besides, suppose something should happen to me. If you didn't know Richie, who'd help you?
Nick, let's get to the point.
They got plenty of time.
No, not me. I want to get my dough and jump bail before the counterspies put another tail on me.
Well, you got a point. Hey, car behind us.
Yeah, I didn't bring no tail with me.
Faster, Richie. See if that car stays with us. Okay, turned off. There's a dirt road up ahead at your left. Turn in there, Richie.
All right.
Anything else behind us, Frank?
Just a laundry truck.
Let him pass us, Reggie. Okay. Turn in.
How far do I go?
I'll tell you when.
How much dough you got for me, Nick?
$5 grand.
$5 grand. Hey, I can skip the country with that.
Why not? Be a lot safer for everybody with you out of the country. That's good enough, Richie. Stop here.
Pick the gun.
What's the matter, Frank? You've seen guns before.
Nick, look, give me my dough. Let me lay 'em. I'm a right guy. You know that.
Sure. We've been buddies for a long time.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. You wouldn't...
Kill you? What kind of a heel do you think I am?
Oh, no, Nick. I didn't think anything like that.
Well, why should you? Now, if Richie...
Nick, you need me.
Of course I do. Why should I kill a guy I need?
We could take the dough, Nick.
Nick, put those guns away.
Don't get excited, Richie. I'm giving one to you.
Me?
I couldn't kill my buddy. You could. Then I wouldn't be a heel.
Nick, no.
I won't do it, Nick. I can't.
Richie, you'd rather die instead of him?
Look, Nick,
Shut up, Frank. You wanted to leave the country, and now you're going to. Come on, Richie. I want something nice and big on you. Like murder.
Please, Nick, don't make me...
Who's that? Shut up. I heard it, too. Somebody over there in the brush. Yeah.
Here! Over here,
you
whoever
crazy
you are.
fool. All right, Garrett, buddy, you're covered from all
Counterspy.
sides.
They will get it. No, don't shoot, Nick.
You want it the hard way, you get it that way. Peters, give him a sample.
Get out of
Take me!
Nick, no.
Go on my arm, you crazy
I
fool.
don't want to die.
It's your last chance.
Come on, I've got it.
I'll kill you. Easy does it, Nick. Frank, you double-crossing rat.
Get a load of this picture, Dave. Two crooks holding the third one for us.
Very pretty.
The gun. Take Bodie's gun.
Drop it, Bodie.
I'll drop it.
I said drop it.
Oh, thank heaven. Okay, get out of that car. You're all under arrest for postal theft, except Nick Bodie, who's also under arrest for murder.
Murder? You're nuts.
You killed Jimmy Morrison and Kathy Thomas, and we'll prove it in court.
All right, start walking. As far as that laundry truck down the road.
Laundry truck. You've been tailing us all this way.
Right, Bodie, and we'll keep tailing you straight up to the prison gates.
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of the visiting vultures.
It was a twisting trail of big-time bootleggers your counterspies followed. From a small tavern in backwoods Mississippi to the lakefront of Chicago. In our counterspy files, we call this the case of the visiting vultures. I invite you to be tuned in.
Next Tuesday, case of the visiting vultures on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program, in part transcribed, originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, dramatized by Palmer Thompson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel-Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight.
From 73 years ago, September 22nd, 1949, Counterspy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We know about Phillips H. Lord's doing the original G-Men radio show, and then Gangbusters, and then Counterspy, and Mr. District Attorney. But before he got into those shows, he actually did homespun stuff. He created the character Seth Parker, a clergyman and backwoods philosopher based on his real-life grandfather. Lords wrote stories for radio of rural New England humor that included the playing of old-timey songs. He communicated with several stations across the U.S., sold them scripts he labeled as Seth Parker Singing School. A big hit, Lord soon contacted by NBC Radio, who contracted to buy scripts for a show to run 6 days a week that was called Sunday Evening at Seth Parker's. Other magazine publications, Lord earning early in his career, in the 20s, close to $100,000 a year. Phillips H. Lord's, he did a lot of stuff in his time. Alrighty, we thank you for tuning in on this Thursday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We ask you, please thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite station. Now, if you miss a day, you do not have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available on demand by going to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows on demand. You can learn more about classic radio collecting. You can find a list of podcast sites that have our shows available. As I said, you can contact me there. You can find our social media links. And if you'd like to help us expand our collection of programs to bring you here on Classic Radio Theater, you can buy me a coffee. Now that buy me a coffee goes to help us expand our collections. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.